In this devlog, I'll be expanding the social functionality of Drifto. Currently, on the game over screen, players can see where they place on a global leaderboard. The plan is to extend this functionality to allow for a friends leaderboard as well. The new UI design only aims to extend the current leaderboard, adding a header and the ability to swipe to navigate between the leaderboards. Players will be able to add friends to their friends list by clicking on their share links. That is, Player A can share their high score through some call to action. Player B can then click a link in that call to action and be taken to the game where they'll be given the option to add Player A as a friend. Players can then remove others from their friend list by clicking the remove icon next to their name on the friends leaderboard. I've now got a loose specification written up, so it's time to build. The first task I'm picking up is updating the UI. I added the friends leaderboard and made it you could scroll between the two. Then added a rank for all the score entries and a remove button for the friend score entries. I then created a leaderboard view component which the game over UI would interact with, rather than interacting with two separate high score panels. Once the UI was hooked up to the controller, the task was done. And it was time to start working on the deep links. Enabling deep linking was surprisingly easy. For iOS, a small change to the config in the Unity player settings. For Android, pasting some stuff into the manifest file. Then, using links of the right scheme would open my app, where the Deep Link Manager could handle the links. My Deep Link Manager system works with two types of components. The Deep Link Manager itself, and Deep Link Manager delegates. The Deep Link Manager, when invoked with a deep link, will call the onDeepLink activated method of all the delegates with matching host strings. I can define what delegates respond to what host names in the inspector. Using this, I'm able to launch a pop-up with the friend Deep Link Manager delegate when the right link is opened. With that, deep linking is done, and it's now time for making the friends leaderboard actually work. To keep things simple and consistent with the rest of the user data, the friends list is going to be stored on the device, allowing me to use the current inventory interface. Querying Firestore for the data is the least trivial task. I want to query over the user ID and their high score for a given stage. However, Firestore doesn't allow queries like this. So, my solution is to ask Firestore for all the users in the friends list and do the rest of the sorting on the client side. I then got that hooked up to the UI, and it was all working. Now onto the share button. There are two parts to getting the share button working. One, allowing users to share some content over social media, and two, routing the user depending on their device and whether the app is installed once they open that shared content. Adding the share button was easy. Just added it to the game over UI and had it call the share method. The share method just called the native share plugin with a link and some text. Routing the users to the right location was the hard part. I needed to route users who already had the app installed to Drifto, and those without it to the correct store for their operating system. I originally planned to do this myself through my website, but Firebase already had a solution for me, dynamic links. Once they were working, the share button task was done. After doing some research on how to build a ranking system through Firestore, I decided to go with the easiest solution and just not do it. Once I had fixed up a bunch of issues that had cropped up during development of the other features, the leaderboard was done.